to have when extrapolating insights born of different behaviours. I mean, you guys will be familiar with the different categories too. I'm not going to dwell on them, but I have found value in getting data and research, often from qual research, around levels of engagement with an organisation and segmenting based on that. And I've certainly found understanding their level of experience with the art form. Were they a student? Do they play, if they're a symphonic musician, do they play in an amateur orchestra? Knowing that kind of stuff can really help making sure that your marketing comms are targeted by segment. Here's a basic methodology. What do you do to do a segmentation? Well, first of all, you start with some data analysis and produce a set of customer variables that you'll then test. You've got to ensure it's statistically valid, so usually people get certain organisations or agencies to help them with this bit. And if you can afford to, I'd certainly consider it if I were you. Then you turn those variables of behaviour and other aspects into insights and augment them in order to define distinct, useful customer segments. Then you start developing strategies that actually align with those, with clear different actions. And then the big one, test and modify, test and modify. And then the other thing that I'd suggest is creating a data pipeline, identifying the bits of data that would help you to understand more about your customers that you don't have, and then start thinking of long-term ways to fill that gap. Just quickly talk about on the data analysis, just some points around that first point of starting off with the analysis. Be really clear on the brief if you are getting someone to help you with that about what you actually want before, not after the extraction. For instance, how are you going to decide customer interests? That's always one that comes up in segmentation. Is it the self-defined stuff that they tick on the, maybe when they do an email sign-up? Or is it how you've categorised events that they've then attended? Which is going to be of stronger benefit to you? Question any kind of road data stuff. The one thing that people seem to forget when doing a segmentation is how are you going to treat complimentary tickets? Leave them out altogether? Use them to a point? I mean, different organisations will have different needs around this stuff, so there's no obvious answer. But you just have to kind of think through the detail. Make sure that you deduplicate, that's kind of an obvious one. And then I've certainly found value in merging and appending that data set with additional research that is commercially available. And I'll talk about some of the things that are. So here's just a list of different kinds of customer data that you could be looking at and that could help you do a segmentation. The stuff in red is pure behavioural data. That's what drives the majority of our activities and our insights. What did they buy? How much was it? Did they buy for some others too? Have they ever